You can talk about me. Yeah, you can say anything you please.
I remember the first time I saw you guys, and the thing that blew me away was that somehow there was, I mean, you guys were young. You were 15 or 16 years old. Yeah, 15 years old. And so there was something about the way you were playing that had this kind of like, there was like the Animals or the Yardbirds. There was that kind of sort of intensity, and everything was a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
But it still sounded, there was an unmistakable kind of Hound Dog Taylor element to what I was hearing, and I couldn't understand how you knew what that was, or how to make it sound like that, or how, I mean, and then nobody, I mean, I have yet to meet somebody or to see somebody, you know, a young person who has an affinity for that approach to playing. How did you find that?
I don't know. It's like I remember, like I grew up on metal, like Priest and Maiden and stuff like that. Yeah, I still love that stuff. But then, you know, we started kind of like mellowing out into AC/DC and Zeppelin, and what we later realized was blues music, just amped up blues music. Led Zeppelin was all, you know, Willie Dixon songs anyway, right? But AC/DC, that's boogie and blues, and but then when we actually heard blues, Hound Dog Taylor and stuff, the straight shooting of it, the no BS kind of, less is more, you know, it really struck a chord with us, you know.
Yeah.
And because we really weren't very good, so we're like, hey, we can play this stuff, no kidding. One note, do 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 do. I can do that. But I think when you're talking about you know, sounding like the Animals or whatever, we never listened. We never heard the Animals. We didn't hear these British blues bands, but we were young white kids amped up on our, you know, heavy music that loved blues, and that was the only way we could do it.
The thing that I find so amazing is that you are a rock music, a heavy rock, hard rock music fan, and yet I have never heard you slide into the kind of hard rock isms like Wheedly Wheedlies or Wheedly things or wah wah stuff or the stuff. Not all of that stuff is bad, but a lot of it's bad, and you've never done it. No. And there's the blues that you play is so real blues, but you're not a blues purist, and you'll play absolute unapologetic rock and roll music.
Yeah.
But there's a point in the middle that most people usually find themselves at where they sell the blues out, and you don't do that. And how did you manage to avoid that?
I think that's totally awesome that you freaking recognize that.
I've been aware of that since you were 15, by the way.
But I think what it is that maybe getting into what you're talking about, slipping into that like real heavy rock, is like the tricks and the sort of stuff that doesn't have any information behind it. Like just little licks and stuff that,
I mean, I'm guilty of it. Most
do.
Guitar players are. You're not.
But I think with the blues and what blues and real rock and roll is all about is not what you can do. It's just what you're trying to say, I think. And you can go as heavy as you want with that, because like if you think about Howlin' Wolf back in the day, or think of Scotty Moore, like how crazy, you know, Elvis's guy.
Yeah.
It was insane what he was doing, totally insane, right? And it was dangerous, right? Blues is dangerous, and so I think, but it's maintaining that need to actually be saying something.
Yeah.
To actually, like, Gord Kidder actually taught me that. It's like every note has to count. Every note has to have information in it. Yeah. Otherwise, it's pointless. There's no point playing that note. Writing
songs. Are you aware of this juxtaposition between blues and rock and roll, or you don't think about it? You just do it.
I don't think about it at all. Like, no. I just, because I got a lot of songs that are just completely I got sappy ballads and punk stuff, but I mean, again, that punk thing, the simplicity and the wanting to make the listener feel something. That's pretty much what it is. It's the same as blues. I mean, it's like just as long as they're feeling something.
One of the things that you do when you're playing, I don't know, maybe you can illustrate this, but you use open strings in a way that I find interesting and maybe unusual. And the guitar reacts in a really cool way when there's a low string ringing open and then there's a high melody happening, or a note that you're bending, or you're playing a lead thing, but the low end you've hit the open A string or the open whatever it is that you got. Did you develop that? I know that sometimes with the Perpetrators, with your band, there have been times when it's just been a duo, a guitar and drum duo. But I think you were doing that right from the beginning, weren't you?
Yeah, I think it came from being a three-piece and just wanting to fatten that up. Yeah. So and just realizing it's not something that I like consciously thought of at home and decided to start practicing. It was just that, in the middle of a show and you realize you can just hit that. You got the bass too going, Yeah. But hitting that extra note, I don't know, just fasten it all up.
And if you've got, when your tone, when you usually play, you've got a bit of growl, a bit of dirt.
Yeah.
And then when there's a bit of dirt, the overtones of those two notes make a really cool thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what you call it, but if you crank up and let's hear some of that. Yeah, go for it. Come on.
It is rocket science. Don't try to do that.